Ever since we started working, we've been at work constantly. We work on our homeworks, our projects, our workshops, our seminars. As we grow, the circumference of this work circle grows with us. New jobs, new roles to play, new responsibilities, along with that new challenges, new enemies, new obstacles. In the midst of all this, at times we might feel like we are fit for nothing, or we are not capable of doing our task, and we feel depressed and overwhelmed with guiltiness and self-pity. This happens because of two reasons. We focus only on our negatives. Number two, we compare ourselves with others. These two things put us down and make us think like we are good for nothing. I would like to encourage you by sharing a small incident from the Bible. Jeremiah was a youth when God spoke to him and entrusted a big task on him. God appointed him as a spokesman, as a prophet to nations. Usually we'll get appointed after a series of interviews, after checking our eligibility to work. But in Jeremiah's case, it is very different. Jeremiah chapter 1:5 for you. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. God is telling Jeremiah that he knew him before he was formed in his mother's womb. And he consecrated him, and he appointed him as a prophet to the nations. We just look at the contrast here. Womb is the smallest place that we have ever lived on this earth. When Jeremiah was there in the womb, he appointed him as a prophet to the nations, to the big geographical area. God is telling, I knew you, I made you eligible, and I appointed you. But look at the reply of Jeremiah in the next verse. Then I said, Oh Lord God, behold, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a youth. Friends, when you look at this verse, Jeremiah focused on only two things. Number one, his inability to speak. Number two, about his age. He's trying to argue with God that he's not good at speaking, and neither he got any experience. He is very young. But the question here is, did God appoint Jeremiah based on his talents, based on his ability to speak, or based on his experience? No, it was very clear in the previous verse. When he was still in the womb, he appointed Jeremiah as a prophet. He didn't look at his talents, his ability to speak, or his experiences. Look at the reply of God in the next verse. But the Lord said to me, Do not say I am only a youth, for to all to whom I send you, you shall go, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. Here God is very clear. Hey Jeremiah, it is not about you, your talents and your knowledge and wisdom and your experience. It is all about me. God also focuses on two things here. Number one, He's telling, I will show you the way where you should go. Number two, I will give you the words that you ought to speak. So only these two things bothered Jeremiah in the previous verse. He was talking about, I don't know what to speak, God is replying here in this verse, I will tell you what to speak. And Jeremiah was worried about his age. He was too young compared to the great prophets of his time. And God is telling, I will show you the way, where to go and what to do. And the next verse, God is giving a promise to Jeremiah. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you to deliver you, declares the Lord. God is sending him with a promise. God promised Jeremiah that he is going to be with him. What is the reason? Because at the time of trouble he will deliver him. So in our lives, many people are with us always. But at the time of trouble, they can't deliver us from the problem that we face. They will become a mere spectators, an audience of the situation there. But God is promising a different thing here. He's telling, I am with you not as a spectator, but as a deliverer. At the time of trouble, I'm going to deliver you. So he's trying to tell Jeremiah, this is a big task that you are going to do. You might face some problems. You might face some obstacles. You might face some enemies. But be strong, because I am with you. I am with you to deliver you. Dear friends, you may be young or old for the work that you do in your office, or for the position that you hold. Or you may have some questions about how to raise my children, how to lead my team, how to achieve the target, how to fulfill this task. You may think that you are lacking in something. Maybe you are thinking you don't have experience to handle things. You are too young to lead the people. You are too young to handle the task which was entrusted upon you. But look at Jeremiah's life and look at how God dealt with him. In all this, please don't focus on your inabilities. And don't compare yourself with others. It is not about you, it is always about God. It is God who placed you wherever you are. He entrusted you with whatever you do. If He puts you somewhere, He will definitely provide what you need. It is not about our smartness, our wisdom. It is all about His plan and His purposes. Do not be afraid. Trust God. He will show you where to go, what to speak and what to do. He will also help us accomplish the work. Yes, we will face challenges, oppositions, obstacles, just like Jeremiah faced. He was thrown into a prison. He was ridiculed by people. But God was faithful. As He promised, He delivered Jeremiah. Remember, God is with us and will deliver us. Trust God and keep moving. May God bless you.